hope you're having an amazing day today. Today, I am really excited to talk to you because I'm going to be reflecting on the top 10 lessons I learned as a digital nomad. So, let's get started. Alright, so one of the number one biggest things I learned as a digital nomad was to have good travel insurance. I've had my fair share of mishaps while adventuring, and so I definitely know how important it is to have good travel insurance, and that's why I want to introduce to you today's amazing sponsor, which is Safety Wing. So thank you so much to Safety Wing for sponsoring this video on our channel. Safety Wing is a very good option for long-term travel insurance, so this makes it absolutely ideal for digital nomads. And one of the amazing benefits I love about this specific company is that you can get your travel and medical insurance on a subscription basis. Just like something like Netflix or Spotify, you can subscribe and unsubscribe when you need to. So this makes it extremely flexible. Safety Wing is also a great value. You can receive worldwide coverage from $37 US for 4 weeks. This does exclude the US. Anytime that you do visit the US or your home country, there may be adjustments in the prices, but overall, this is an amazing service. And as I know from being a digital nomad, you're already stepping so much out of your comfort zone. Just to have the safety net of travel and medical insurance is very important, because you would never want to be in a challenging situation and not have the proper assistance to get yourself out of this, whether this is an injury or the travel mishaps that happen on a somewhat regular basis, especially for someone like me. I'm not sure why I attract so many lost luggages, missed flights, all that jazz into my life, but that's why I have partnered with Safety Wing today to introduce such an incredible service to you guys. I'm especially excited because I absolutely love their overall goal, and that is to create a full safety net for location independent people. And being someone who has been location independent for the last 3 years, I can see how this service would have benefited me so much, and I would have saved a lot of money. So I encourage you guys to check it out and to get behind Safety Wing yourself. So I'll be leaving a link down below for you guys to explore more and discover opportunities with Safety Wing. So the next lesson I learned was in communication, and I really learned how to push myself out of my comfort zone to communicate. Whether that meant making friends, asking for directions, attempting a new language, I was able to further my communication skills more than I could have ever imagined, and it's because I pushed myself to step out of that comfort zone. Almost every trip I went on, I noticed I had blocks in regards to communicating with others. Whether this was an example, like I mentioned, asking for directions from someone. If it's someone I didn't know and I knew that they were a figure of authority, let's say a policeman or woman or someone working at a hotel, I felt a little bit nervous about asking them questions, or is this a dumb question? Should I know where this is? But the more and more that I exercised those communication skills, the more and more empowered I became, and the more and more confident I became overall in myself and in communication. The next lesson that I learned was the power of social media in a very positive way. So as you guys know, I've been sharing my journey with you guys for the past 3 years, over 3 years now. And I couldn't be more grateful to have done that, because it's brought me some amazing friends into my life and some amazing opportunities. And both of these things would not have come into my existence if I didn't push myself to go outside of my comfort zone and share my experiences with all of you. I'm so grateful for every single one of you that I had the opportunity to meet thus far in my journey, and I look forward to meeting all the more of you. I've met some of my best friends, all thanks to this World Wide Web. The next lesson I learned is in spending for accommodation. I learned that it is better to spend a little bit more money to get comfort rather than to cheap out and not feel safe. So I learned this lesson in regards to trying to save money in some places where I ended up staying in a hostel that just didn't feel comfortable to me. And in hindsight, I didn't have a good sleep. In hindsight, I didn't feel safe. In hindsight, I wasn't in the location that I wanted to be. Whereas maybe if I would have spent $10 or $20 more, I could have felt safe, had an amazing sleep, and just been super energized to move on with my trip and my travels and my adventures. So sometimes if you are budget traveling, it is worth it to spend the extra money, and just always make sure that you yourself are feeling safe. You need to put yourself first and you will enjoy your trip all the more if you are in the comfort that you need to have a good sleep, to feel safe, and to feel positive. Now, the next lesson I learned as a digital nomad, for any of you who are working while you travel, or traveling while you're working, or traveling the world as a digital nomad, time zones. Always be familiar with the time zone changes and adjust your calendars accordingly, because you don't want to miss meetings with clients, calls with potential clients, commitments to projects or proposals that you are to hand back. There are a lot of different scenarios where time is so important and your timing is important. And when you are traveling, sometimes if you're on a long flight, you get off the flight and you don't exactly know which day it is. You are exhausted, you can kind of be in a little bit of a brain fog or jet lag for the next few days. So always be sure to set yourself up for success by becoming familiar with the time zones before you enter into them and adjusting your calendar as soon as you get over to the other side. The next lesson is that new SIM cards are better than expensive phone bills. So I learned this one the hard way, as you can probably imagine. Oftentimes when you enter into a new country, you'll notice that there are mobile stands in the airport. So you can inquire right away about getting yourself a new SIM card. Occasionally these are more expensive if you know you're not heading out into a major city where there might be other places to get a SIM card or check out a cell phone store, anything like that. But this option is very good because, one, it does put you back into that safety zone. You know that if you need to get on a phone call right away, you can exiting the airport. If you need to ask for help or assistance, you have that at your fingertips, which is something we're so blessed to have. Of course, sometimes people like to disconnect, and you always can, but it's always good to feel safe. So I encourage you to check that out before you go to your next country or a new place, or inquire with your cell phone provider if they do offer special plans. But it's easy enough to pop in a new SIM card, and oftentimes in other countries, speaking as a Canadian, it is a lot cheaper to have a cell phone in a different country than it is to have one here. The next lesson that I learned is that my planner is my best friend. And by planner, I mean my physical planner that I write down my schedule in, everything that I want to complete, my goals, all that good stuff. My planner is my best friend because I am someone who personally likes to cross things off, and I like to visually see what I'm doing. I've tried digital planners in the past, but I just don't think I trust them. I think that's what it is. I like to have the physical planner, the pen to the paper, writing it down. And this is especially important when you are location independent and you might be traveling a lot. It can be easy when you enter in a new place to kind of fall into that vacation mode, you know, going to the beach, you might have a margarita midday, something like that. But if you have your planner, I find that for me personally, it holds me accountable to achieving everything that I set out to do and everything that I need to complete to make sure that I'm feeling productive and serving my clients or myself as best as possible. Speaking of falling into vacation mode, this is a lesson that actually took me quite a long time to figure out, but once I figured it out, I don't think I'll ever have this problem again, and that is staying active and eating healthy even when you are traveling. So this can be challenging when you enter into new countries and you're familiar with their food, of course, but what I mean is just because you are traveling and feeling that super high on life, like adventure mode, you need to take care of yourself first, because your body is the vessel that takes you from point A to point B, and you want to be feeling your best. You want to be feeling your most energetic, your healthiest, like your most active, energized self. You want to feel your best self to enjoy the place and to be able to work the best of your ability. So what I developed for myself is that when I go on vacation, I might have a nice meal one day, but I also really love to cook for myself. And when I do cook for myself, I choose simple basics like salad, rice, legumes, something simple that I know works really good with my body and that I know gives me the fuel that I need in my day and that doesn't have me feeling heavy or uncomfortable. And the same thing goes with being active. Always try to be active when you are on holiday. Don't just lie on the beach all day. So for example, if you are somewhere where there's a beautiful beach, take some active time to go swimming and enjoy the water. And I promise you, you're gonna enjoy it a lot more than you think, even if you're just feeling so blissed out lying in the sun. Another thing is beach walks or beach runs. You can also do yoga. We also have this amazing place called YouTube where tons of people have great, incredible workout videos. So both eating healthy and getting your exercise in is important. Don't treat your digital nomad journey as a long-term vacation, because else you're just gonna burn out and feel really gross. like honestly, you're just gonna feel gross. So just be sure that you're keeping up your positive, good habits while you are on the road as well. The next tip I have is Wi-Fi. Well, good Wi-Fi can make or break your workday, and I'm speaking from experience, having lived in Rome for almost 3 years, where good Wi-Fi is very difficult to find. Very difficult. So what I suggest, and what I've done in the past, is before I go to a city, I look up where the best coffee shops to work at are, like digital nomad hotspots where people like to hang out and get their work done, because where there are location independent people, there most likely is a very solid Wi-Fi connection. And besides checking out those places once I get there, if I am staying in a hostel or Airbnb, I'll make sure to ask the questions as well. How good is the Wi-Fi? And a good thing to take note in is if you're going to Italy, if they have fibra, or anywhere else if they have a fiber connection. So this connection actually gives you high-speed internet. So some places don't have this. Like for example, my previous apartment in Rome did not have this, and the nearest coffee shop that I had decent Wi-Fi was a half-an-hour walk away. So just be sure that you're doing that type of research before you go to set yourself up for success as a location independent person. Because for example, walking half an hour there and then half an hour back from the coffee shop could be an extra hour on the beach for you. And the last lesson that I want to share with you guys today is trust. Through all of my adventures thus far and all of my adventures in the future, I know that trust in the universe is something that gets developed each time I go out on an adventure. There's been times where I've gotten myself into different scenarios or needed help, and I've run into the most incredible people who have helped me along in my journey or given me great advice, or I've just had very synchronistic experiences that just shed the light on the fact that when you choose to step outside of your comfort zone to pursue the path of something like working location independent, you will meet all the right people to help you and assist you along your journey. Just have an open mind and trust that if you have a good relationship with yourself, there's no doubt that you're gonna succeed in whatever you put your mind to, and the universe will support you in that endeavor. Whatever your endeavors may be, if you are doing it from a place that comes from your heart, the trust is there. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you again to Safety Wing for sponsoring this video and providing such an incredible service to location independent people or those long-term travelers. So I will be leaving the link for Safety Wing down below, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out. And I look forward to seeing you again in a video very soon. Bye!